Rob, thank you. Well, last night on Masterchef Australia, it was an intense and stressful semi-final with the three remaining contestants creating a complex toffee apple recipe with, can you believe it, 113 steps. But however, the king was dethroned. It was Reynold who was sent home. Let's have a look.
And Reynold, I'm sorry to say, that means you're going home.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Oh my goodness. It was hard to say goodbye to him last night, but lucky for us, we're saying good afternoon to him now. Reynold, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo show.
How you going?
I'm all right now. Just watching that back again, you try to keep it together for so long and then it just kind of flooded over. What was that moment like for you at that particular time when you couldn't hold on to it any longer?
Oh, I was trying to keep a smiling face, trying to be cool, and then I just feel this surge of emotions just come up and how much I wanted to be into that grand finale. So yeah, that was actually really tough. I just couldn't hold it in. It was just too much.
Well, you are truly the master of the complex dessert. Did you think that you had this one in the bag? Were you confident?
I was very confident. Well, actually, no, that was a bit of a lie because like the night before, I had about 2, 3 hours sleep, and I was really nervous about the pressure test. I'm not good with reading recipes or reading in general. It's just terrible. But I was confident that I would have gone through to the grand finale, but it didn't happen. So it's life. Shit happens.
It certainly does. But would you have thought, though, that if you did follow the recipe, I know you say you don't like to read them and things like that, if you had really tried to go step by step, it would be a different outcome?
Oh, I'd be behind. I'd probably miss
Really?
2 or 3 components. Yeah, I'd definitely be behind because there's a few pages where I just didn't want to read because it's just like a wall of text. I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. Hell no. Like for one of the leaves, the raspberry one in particular, was about a 3/4 page full of method, and I was like, nah, no way. So I just kind of followed my instinct, and it worked out, at least for the raspberry. But for the apple itself, I went back to the recipe and I read it, and I was like, oh, it's meant to fill out the mold, and I didn't do that. Amateur.
So, Reynold, are you the kind of guy that... Are you the kind of guy that when you get, like, I don't know, a new computer or a new gadget, you don't bother reading the instructions? You just rather find it out yourself?
Oh, what do you mean? Who reads the instructions?
Yeah.
No one.
I'm exactly the same. I hate them. But other people sit there and they get them out and they're reading everything before they plug it in. I just plug it in and hope for the best.
The only exception is like you need, if it's an IKEA, you'll need that instruction manual. That's what you need.
That's true.
That's all
And
it
it
is.
annoys me.
But besides that,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's just you just wing the rest.
Exactly. Now, look, obviously last night was a roller coaster of emotion. There was another moment that really broke our hearts. Let's have a look at that now.
I haven't had an easy life as an immigrant. My mum and dad, both very hard workers, my brothers as well. Yeah, it's one of those things like, no matter how hard my family works, there's always something that kind of knocks us down.
Take a moment.
I hate this.
Take a moment. Take a deep breath.
People see it as like, our dessert bar product is so great, but why is it we're still struggling?
Reynold, I think it's so lovely, I think, and so very brave that you are that strong and that you can share that story with people. What's it like to share that particular story of yours that would resonate with so many people?
I mean, I was really vulnerable when I said those the stories. I just felt like I just had all this, these things all pent up, and it's like just needed to let it all out. Especially at that point in the competition, how important it is to me. But what's really amazing is that being able to share it, and because it's a story that I don't really talk about, or my brothers talk about much as well. It's one of those hidden things that we don't really kind of want to let too many people know. Well, unfortunately, I let it all know to the national TV. But
Why do
it's
you
something.
not normally share that kind of story? Why is that?
It's the only time you'll be able to kind of make me get really emotional because my family is everything to me. Of course, with a lot of people, family is everything. But to kind of come from another country and come into migrating to another foreign country, it's hard, especially at a young age. And it's one of those things where a lot of migrants actually can resonate and relate to this story. It's one thing that we can bond over and connect with. A humble beginning.
Well, I know I speak for everyone when I say we're so glad that your family decided to migrate to Australia. We are richer for it, especially because you've got that wonderful dessert bar. How is that going, or how is that coping, though, with this second wave of COVID-19?
So during filming, I was trying to balance work and filming as well. It was really tough because I was in Melbourne, flying back and forth every weekend. And when COVID hit, we had to shut. That was really tough, and we lost half our staff. A few of them actually went back to their home countries. So that wasn't easy at all. We've opened up for about 2 months now, and I got straight back into work after filming. And trying to readjust into this new world has been not easy at all. And what's really scary is that there is potential second wave that might happen in Sydney. There's a few clusters here and there. And if we're to go into a scenario like Melbourne, it's going to be a hard hit for everyone again.
And I think that we see such a lovely sense of community on the show, and I'm assuming that's going to kind of overflow into your work life as well as the other contestants. But we saw a really nice moment last night when you and Amelia helped Laura. Why is there that sense of community in the kitchen?
Oh, I mean, we have all been through hell for the past 5 months worth of filming. So there's of course, we all bond over food and everything. That's our common passion, and we all end up making friends. It's incredible to be part of the season where we're all kind of new of each other, look up to each other as well. And making friendships is really important. And throughout this competition, friendship comes first, competition comes second.
So we're used to seeing, we'll talk a little bit about Big Brother really quickly here. We're used to seeing a reality TV where you're all in it for yourself, everyone else is an enemy potentially, and then that grows throughout the series. But that's not the same in Masterchef, is it? It's the
No, I think that's what makes it special. I think that's what makes MasterChef so unique and so special. It's a positive, I guess, environment. It's a positive kind of show, and especially that's what we need right now during these times.
Absolutely. Now, you are completely self-taught. We talked about this before. You don't like the recipe book. What advice would you give to other aspiring chefs? Should they get formal training, or if they've got the passion, if they've got the instinct, they should just go down that path? Which one?
Well, there's pros and cons. I've made a self-challenge for myself. It's like I want to be self-taught and see how far I can learn, what I can do. It opens up your creativity. But if you used to take formal training, you build up your foundation of cooking. You learn a lot. It's easier to go into kitchens because you have all these experiences. But for me, I like to kind of reach out to other chefs and wanting to work in their kitchen is actually not easy anymore because you're well established. You can't come in my kitchen. You're just going to steal recipes. That's pretty tough. Yeah.
That's when it turns into Big Brother. Now, really quickly, I'm just going to ask you, what is for your tea tonight, Reynold?
I don't drink tea. What do you mean by tea? Like whiskey?
No, tea, like dinner. No, dinner.
Oh.
I like to say it like a really Aussie ochre kind of guy. What's for your tea tonight, mate? Sorry, what's for your dinner?
I'm craving a big bowl of pho, a Vietnamese bowl of pho. I love beef noodle soup. That's my go-to.
Me too. Yep.
And I only eat once a day, which is pretty bad because I'm just constantly at work. Don't really have much time to eat. I just try to eat some dumplings, but I actually realized I left that for 2 weeks in my fridge, so I kind of picked that up. That was pretty bad, and I'm really bad about that. I don't like to eat in. I like to always get takeaway, which is also quite bad. It's kind of weird.
No, you're helping the restaurants. You're helping the business. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, Reynold, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it, and good luck for everything in the future.
All right. Thanks, Robbo.
Thanks, Reynold. Well, tonight we will see Amelia and Laura battle it out for the crown of MasterChef Australia 2020, and we will have the winner live on the show tomorrow on the Ben, Rob and Robbo show. Bloody hell, Rob, it's going to be an exciting night tonight.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo.